Hello, welcome to the University Church of St Mary's the Virgin. Come and see what's inside.
We're not the only ones to have walked through these doors. The famous Queen Elizabeth I came here to listen to the disputations.
Many years later, the world-famous Mahatma Gandhi visited this church. I don't think he'd have approved of all the fighting and burning that had gone on here before.
Finally, that's better. It's a bit noisy up here. Gotta love the view though. Not bad, eh? The chap who commissioned that impressive round building, a certain John Radcliffe, now rests in peace inside the church here. You might be able to think of some other buildings named after him. Quite a big cheese he was in the 17th century. And he did love a good wig. You should have seen him. I don't go in for that sort of thing myself. This main's all mine. Actually, you've caught me on a good day. I haven't looked this good in 733 years. I've just had a facelift, along with the rest of the church. Taken years off me, it has. Oh, by the way, my name is Geoffrey. Geoffrey the Garrulous Gargot. And if you don't know what that means, you can look it up. Tell you what, I've seen a few things from up here, like the day when... Hang on! What are those noisy little hatchlings doing down there? Ah, yes, they're going to show you round the church and help me tell you some stories about the past.
Ta-da!
I would, but my joints aren't what they used to be. Thomas Cranmer was the Archbishop of Canterbury in Tudor times and a close friend of King Henry VIII. When he decided that he wanted to divorce Catherine, his first wife, and marry Anne Boleyn, his second wife, Cranmer helped him. Unfortunately, this all backfired when Mary, Catherine's daughter, became queen. She disliked Cranmer because of his role in separating her mother and father. She also disagreed with his beliefs, so she had him arrested and tried here at University Church.
The man you see before you is a heretic and a sinner. Therefore, he must die. He betrays both Queen and country, and shall perish for his sins.
Which here I renounce and refuse, as things written with my hand, contrary to the truth, which I thought in my heart, and writ for fear of death, and to save my life. And forasmuch as my hand offended in writing contrary to my heart, therefore my hand shall first be punished. For if I may come to the fire, it shall be first burned. And as for the Pope, I refuse him as Christ's enemy and Antichrist, with all his false doctrine.
Stop the heretic's mouth and take him away.
Sadly, as you can see, Cranmer was found guilty and taken to be burned alive on Broad Street. Today, a paved cross on the road marks the spot where he was burned. I can see it from here.
Liar! You
His hand hath ascended, and Lord Jesus received my spirit.
I bet you didn't know that Oxford could be so interesting. But wait, there's more. I'm just getting started. In a big house not far from here lived a lady by the name of Amy Robsart. Her husband, Lord Dudley, was a close friend of Queen Elizabeth's. Very close. One Sunday evening, Amy's maids were given leave to go to a fair in the nearby village.
I insist you all must go to the fair.
But Amy felt unwell and stayed home to rest.
Now please leave me in peace until we morn.
When the maids returned, they found their mistress lying at the bottom of the stairs, dead.
I don't think she's
What's all the
breathing.
commotion? Oh my goodness! She's dead! Send for a doctor! I'll do that now.
Amy is buried here at University Church, but her death remains unsolved. Let's have a look at what might have happened and see what you think.
Ha! You made my task too easy. But quick, I must to my chamber.
I see no gain in struggling for another day. I just want the pain in my chest and the pain of my broken heart to see. Forgive me, Lord. Have mercy on my poor broken soul.
In 1637, the South Porch at the University Church was demolished and rebuilt. Under the supervision of Archbishop Laud, he allowed a statue of St. Mary the Virgin to be placed on top and the controversial barley twist columns to be installed.
These features seem very Catholic, so he was put on trial for his designs. Today, the porch is known as the Virgin Porch.
100 years after Amy's death, a civil war was declared between the supporters of the King, Charles I, and his Parliament. This was like a really big argument over who should rule the country. Oxford University was very powerful at the time and gave its support to the King, who was staying at Christ Church. Thousands of soldiers moved into Oxford and many colleges were damaged in gun battles. Unfortunately, University Church didn't escape unharmed. Legend has it that in 1642, soldiers marching down the high street suddenly took aim at the statue above the porch and fired, knocking Mary's nose clean off. Poor Mary, she hasn't been the same since. On your tour of University Church, keep a lookout for sets of initials carved into the stones beneath your feet. Some of these mark the temporary graves of soldiers from the Civil War whose bodies should have been returned to their estates when the fighting was over, but often never were. Ah! Oh, it's only you. Phew! Where was I? Ah, yes, the church. As you can see, we've had our fair share of visitors here over the years, and we still do today, but thankfully without weapons. People travel from all over the world to attend our church services, concerts, plays, lectures, guided tours and school visits, like the one you're on today. In fact, over 300,000 visitors come to visit this church each year. That's almost 4 times the number of people who can fit inside the Olympic Stadium. In 2012, the church was covered with scaffolding, and a team of builders and conservators, people who repair old buildings, spent the year mending and scrubbing all of the bits that had been damaged. Even I didn't escape a bath. Still, I think you'll agree that the church is looking beautiful. In fact, I think it's time that I stop talking and let you go and see it for yourselves. Remember, keep your eyes peeled for links to the stories and listen carefully to your guide, and you might just be lucky enough to unlock some more stories of the stones. Bye for now.